Hi everyone, it's Smitha. Welcome back. Today we're going to be creating the most stunning Diwali look. This is the look that gets me the most compliments during the festival season, so I keep repeating it over and over again, and I can't wait to show you how it's done. And it is so simple to create it, and it looks so glamorous in no time. So if you're ready, let's begin. I always like to perfect my skin and my base before I apply makeup, and so I'm going to be using the L'Oreal Revitalift moisturizer to hydrate my skin. If you're looking for that fabulous moisturizer that's comparable to any high-end moisturizer but at fraction of the cost, then I would highly recommend this one. For foundation, I'm going to be using the One Size Turn Up the Base BB Cream in the shade Medium Dark one, and I'm going to further thin this out using the One Size B12 Base Thinner. As I'm aging, I don't prefer very thick foundation, so I usually mix it with something like a serum, or the B12 mixer is fantastic. You can thin down any foundation, and then I like to apply it with my fingers like a cream. That way I get that even coverage. It's not too thick on my skin, which I absolutely love. I prefer something that'll sit closer to my skin and does not cake up. And for that extra coverage as well as highlighting, I'm going to be using two different shades of concealers from Milani. First, I'm going to be using a shade that's a true match to my skin tone, which is 145 or warm beige. I'm going to use this to cover up my dark circles as well as dark patches as well as dark spots. And as you can see, when you use a concealer that's a good match to your skin tone, it covers everything up beautifully. And then I'm switching to the lighter shade of concealer to highlight, which is 135. And I'm going to again use it over my dark circles and around my mouth. And I'm going to let it sit for a couple minutes before I finish up my contouring and add some dimension. This is the Sacho Contour Stain in the shade 5, which is also called Giving Edge. This is so pigmented, so all you need is very little. You can always layer it if you prefer, but start with very less. I'm using it to contour and chisel my cheekbones, under my jawline, as well as my nose. And now the concealer is a little bit dry and tacky, so I'm going to use this concealer brush from Real Techniques to quickly blend everything out. For blush, I'm going to be using the Ofra Midi palette in Velvet Hues. And I'm going to be using the cream blush. First, I'm going to pat it in the back of my hand. So this is going to smooth out everything and remove the excess. And then I'm going to use it on my cheeks. Now, if you use this directly on your cheeks, it can start looking blotchy. So make sure you follow this step. And then using the Huda Beauty setting powder in Banana Bread, I'm going to lightly set my face, focusing this in the T-zone where my face tends to sweat and crease. So I want to focus it there. And then I'm going to take a little bit more powder and bake underneath my eyes to brighten up everything. I'm going to let it sit till I'm done with my eye makeup, and then we will dust off everything. For brows, I'm going to be using the Kokie Cosmetics Brow Pencil in black. Because my brows are very thick, I don't want to fill in too much. I'm only going to be filling in the sparse areas, keeping it looking as natural as possible. And then I'm using this brow concealer from Billion Dollar Beauty to clean out underneath my brows. It's so easy this, and it sharpens up everything, and the brows look fabulous. For eyeshadow primer, I'm going to be using the Urban Decay Primer Potion. Although this doesn't give full coverage, I like to use this when I use pencils as markers on my lid. It's very easy to carve out everything when you use a primer as opposed to a concealer. Using the ColourPop Gel Liner in Joyride, I'm going to carve out the outer corner and crease and smudge it out with a flat smudging brush. I like to draw the outline and frame my lids before I use eyeshadows. That way you can perfect any eyeshadow look. Now from the Jason Wu palette, I'm going to dip into this Maui tone, and I'm going to use it to soften the line. I'm using a blending brush from ColourPop to keep on blending while I layer more color. Then I'm going to use this deeper shade to deepen out the outer corner. Again, applying very less at a time and blending it out and layering as I go. And then with every eyeshadow look, I most definitely will use the e.l.f. concealer brush. This is a large, fluffy brush. So with minimal effort, it can make everything look like a cloud. It blends like a dream. Now using the deeper shade of brown, I'm going to smoke it out in my lower lash line using a smudging brush all the way from the inner to the outer corner. And then using a little bit of the pressed powder, I'm going to clean up the outer edge. I'm dipping into this stunning pressed glitter and I'm going to lightly dab it on my lid. Using the Revolution Kajal, I'm going to tightline and also use it in the very outer corner of my lash line. And make sure it completely coats the lash line, there's no gaps left. And to finish up, I'm going to curl my lashes and use a coat of the Sweet mascara. I've never used this mascara before, but I love it, especially for my lower lashes. It makes it look so long because of the way the mascara wand is. It's very slender, so it doesn't even smudge. I'm going to finish up with these self-adhesive lashes from Lily Lashes in Game Changer. And here is the finished look. It's bronzy, it's dreamy, it's stunning, but at the same time looks delicate and glam. I love that combo. Let's go ahead and dust off all that excess powder. And on my lips, I'm using this beautiful lip combo, starting with the Soshi Lip Pencil in Speak Easy, and I'm applying it in my borders as well as shading it inward so it blends beautifully with the lipstick. For which I'm using this stunning lipstick again from Soshi and Speak Easy. This lipstick looks so stunning and it's so hydrating and comfortable. Let's go ahead and lock my face using the One Size Powder Melt Setting Spray. And this spray, mind you, makes your face look like it has a filter on it, but natural at the same time. I'm going to quickly change and here is the finished look. I'd love to hear your thoughts, so comment below and let me know. And if you plan to recreate this look, please don't forget to tag me. My socials are listed in the description box below along with all the products that I've used today. If you love my looks and if you want to sign up for a one-on-one class, I'm going to include that link in the end screen soon after this tutorial, so stay tuned. I love you guys so much. Happy Diwali, everybody, and I will see you soon with a brand new one. Bye, guys.